Hi everyone, welcome back to my course Learn Hindi through English. Today we will be studying Kriya ke prakar, which means types of verbs in Hindi. It means types of verbs in Hindi. So let's begin. So over here, कर्म के आधार पर क्रिया के प्रकार, कर्म के आधार पर क्रिया के प्रकार. This means types of verbs based on karma. कर्म के आधार पर क्रिया के दो प्रकार होते हैं. कर्म के आधार पर क्रिया के दो प्रकार होते हैं. This means there are two types of verbs on the basis of action. There are two types of verbs on the basis of action. The first one is akarma kriya. It is akarma kriya. So let's go through the definition of akarma kriya. जिस क्रिया का फल कर्ता पर पड़ता है उसे अकर्मक क्रिया कहते हैं. जिस क्रिया का फल कर्ता पर पड़ता है उसे अकर्मक क्रिया कहते हैं. जैसे बालक सोता है, बच्चा रोता है इत्यादि. This means intransitive verb. Let's go through the definition of intransitive verb. The action which results on the subject is called intransitive verb, like child sleeps, child cries, etc. Let's go to the second type of verb on the basis of action. Sakarma kriya. जिस क्रिया का फल कर्म पर पड़ता है उसे सकर्मक क्रिया कहते हैं. So over here in sakarmak kriya the definition is जिस क्रिया का फल कर्म पर पड़ता है उसे सकर्मक क्रिया कहते हैं. जैसे हरि क्या खाता है, हरि क्या खाता है. The second example is बच्चा क्यों रो रहा है, बच्चा क्यों रो रहा है इत्यादि. This means sakarmak kriya is transitive verb. Sakarmak kriya is transitive verb. Let's go through the definition of transitive verb. The verb whose results fall on the action is called transitive verb. The verb whose results fall on the action is called transitive verb, like what does Hari eat? What does Hari eat? Why is the child crying? Why is the child crying? Etc. Now to understand akarma kriya and sakarma kriya, I have put the examples in two different columns. So let's go through the first example. The first example under akarma kriya is उसका सिर खुजलाता है. उसका सिर खुजलाता है. This means his head itches. It means his head itches. Now the same example you can see it in the second column, which is sakarma kriya. Let's go through the example. वह अपना सिर खुजलाता है. वह अपना सिर खुजलाता है. This means he scratches his head. It means he scratches his head. Now let's go through the second example under akarma kriya. बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है. बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है. This means drop by drop the pitcher fills. Drop by drop the pitcher fills. Now the sentence under sakarma kriya is मैं घड़ा भरता हूँ. मैं घड़ा भरता हूँ. This means I fill the pot. I fill the pot. Now over here, संरचना या प्रयोग के आधार पर क्रिया के प्रकार. संरचना या प्रयोग के आधार पर क्रिया के प्रकार. This means types of verbs based on structure or use. It means types of verbs based on structure or use. So over here, संरचना या प्रयोग के आधार पर क्रिया के 8 प्रकार हैं. क्रिया के 8 प्रकार हैं. This means there are 8 types of verbs on the basis of structure or usage. There are 8 types of verbs on the basis of structure or usage. The first one is samanya kriya. It is samanya kriya. The second kriya is sanyukt kriya. It is sanyukt kriya. The third kriya is नाम धातु क्रिया. It is नाम धातु क्रिया. The fourth kriya here is प्रेरणार्थक क्रिया. It is प्रेरणार्थक क्रिया. The fifth kriya here is पूर्वकालिक क्रिया. It is पूर्वकालिक क्रिया. The sixth kriya here is kridanta kriya. It is kridanta kriya. The seventh kriya here is sahayak kriya. It is sahayak kriya. The eighth type of kriya here is sajatiya kriya. It is sajatiya kriya. So now let's go through the different types of kriya in details. The first kriya is samanya kriya. It is samanya kriya. Let's go through the definition of samanya kriya. जिस क्रिया के पीछे न लगा हो उसे सामान्य क्रिया कहते हैं. अर्थात जब वाक्य में एक क्रिया का पता चले तो उसे सामान्य क्रिया कहते हैं. जैसे रोना, धोना, खाना, पीना, नाचना, कूदो, पढ़ा, नहाना, चलना आदि. This means the verb which is not followed is called a common verb. That is, when a verb is not known in a sentence, it is called a samanya kriya. It is called a samanya kriya. For example, crying, washing, eating, drinking, dancing, jumping, reading, bathing, walking, etc. Now let's go through some of the sentence examples of samanya kriya. Vakya udaharan. Vakya udaharan means sentence example. It means sentence example. So let's go through the first example. Vah khata hai. Vah khata hai. This means he eats. It means he eats. Let's go through the second example. Vah daudta hai. Vah daudta hai. This means he runs. It means he runs. Now in the third example, हम खेलते हैं. हम खेलते हैं. This means we play. Now let's go to the second type of kriya. The second type of kriya is sanyukta kriya. It is sanyukta kriya. Let's go through the definition of संयुक्त क्रिया. जो क्रियाएं दो या दो से अधिक धातुओं से मिलकर बनी होती हैं उसे संयुक्त क्रिया कहते हैं. उसे संयुक्त क्रिया कहते हैं. अर्थात जो क्रियाएं दो या दो से अधिक क्रियाओं के योग से बनी होती हैं उन्हें संयुक्त क्रिया कहते हैं. This means the verbs which are made up of two or more metals are called joint verbs. That is, the verb which are made up of the sum of two or more verbs are called sanyukt verb. Now let's understand this with the help of example. Vakya udharan. This means sentence example. Let's go through the first example. मैंने खाना खा लिया. मैंने खाना खा लिया. This means I have had my meal. This means I have had my meal. Now let's go to the second example. तुम घर चले जाओ. तुम घर चले जाओ. This means you go home. This means you go home. Let's go through the third example. प्रियंका ने दूध पी लिया. प्रियंका ने दूध पी लिया. This means Priyanka drank milk. It means Priyanka drank milk. Now in the fourth example, महेश नाचने लगा. महेश नाचने लगा. This means Mahesh started dancing. It means Mahesh started dancing. Let's go through the fifth example. Rahul रोने लगा. Rahul रोने लगा. This means Rahul started crying. Now over here the third type of kriya is naam dhatu kriya. It is naam dhatu kriya. So let's go through the definition of नाम धातु क्रिया. क्रिया को छोड़कर संज्ञा, सर्वनाम तथा विशेषण से मिलकर बने संयुक्त क्रिया को नाम धातु क्रिया कहते हैं. क्रिया को छोड़कर संज्ञा, सर्वनाम तथा विशेषण से मिलकर बने संयुक्त क्रिया को नाम धातु क्रिया कहते हैं. यह धातुओं के नाम से बने होते हैं इसलिए इन्हें नाम धातु कहते हैं. This means a compound verb consisting of a noun, a pronoun and an adjective excluding the verb is called naam dhatu. These are made from the names of metals. Hence they are called नाम धातु. जैसे like अपना से अपनाना. अपना से अपनाना. This means from my own to embrace. From my own to embrace. शर्म से शर्माना. शर्म से शर्माना. This means from shy to blush. स्वीकार से स्वीकारना. स्वीकार से स्वीकारना. From to accept to accept. कटना से कटवाना. कटना से कटवाना. This means from cut to cut. The next one is जगना से जगाना. जगना से जगाना. This means from waking up to wake up. Now let's understand this with the help of sentence example. Vakya udaharan, which means sentence example. Now let's go through the first example. उन्होंने अपनी बहू को अपना लिया. उन्होंने अपनी बहू को अपना लिया. This means he accepted his daughter-in-law. Let's go through the second example. मैं गलती से आपसे टकरा गई. मैं गलती से आपसे टकरा गई. This means I accidentally bumped into you. It means I accidentally bumped into you. Let's go to the fourth type of kriya. The fourth type of kriya is प्रेरणार्थक kriya. It is प्रेरणार्थक kriya. Let's go through the definition. जिस क्रियाओं के प्रयोग से यह पता चलता है कि कर्ता खुद कार्य न करके किसी और से कार्य करवा रहा है या किसी और को कार्य करने की प्रेरणा दे रहा है, उसे प्रेरणार्थक क्रिया कहते हैं. This means by using these verbs, it is known that the subject is getting someone else to do the work instead of doing the work himself, or is motivating someone else to do the work. Then it is called प्रेरणार्थक क्रिया. जैसे करवाना, कटवाना, पिलवाना, पढ़वाना, लिखवाना, खिलवाना, सुनाना, बुलवाना, पिलवाता, पिलवाती इत्यादि. This means like getting it done, getting it cut, feeding it, making it read, writing it, playing it, narrating it, making it drink, etc. Now let's understand this with the help of vakya udharan. Vakya udharan means sentence example. Now let's go through the first example. मालिक नौकर से कार साफ करवाता है. मालिक नौकर से कार साफ करवाता है. This means the owner gets the servant to clean the car. The owner gets the servant to clean the car. Let's go to the second example. अध्यापक बच्चे से पाठ पढ़वाते हैं. अध्यापक बच्चे से पाठ पढ़वाते हैं. This means the teacher makes the child read the lesson. The teacher makes the child read the lesson. Let's go to the third example. मैंने सीमा से पत्र लिखवाया. मैंने सीमा से पत्र लिखवाया. This means I got the letter written by Seema. I got the letter written by Seema. Let's go to the fourth example. उसने हमें खाना खिलवाया. उसने हमें खाना खिलवाया. This means he fed us. It means he fed us. Now let's go to the fifth type of kriya. The fifth type of kriya is purvakalik kriya. It is purvakalik kriya. So let's go through the definition of purvakalik kriya. पूर्वकालिक का मतलब पहले से किया हुआ होता है. जब कर्ता एक काम को समाप्त करके तुरंत दूसरे काम में लग जाता है, तब जो क्रिया पहले समाप्त हो चुकी होती है उसे पूर्वकालिक क्रिया कहते हैं. This means antecedent means already done. When the subject, after finishing one work, immediately starts another work, then the verb which has finished earlier is called purvakalik kriya. Now let's go through some of the sentence examples. Vakya udaharan means sentence example. So let's go through the first example. पुजारी जी ने नहाकर पूजा की. पुजारी जी ने नहाकर पूजा की. This means the priest worshipped after taking a bath. The priest worshipped after taking a bath. Let's go to the second example. वह खाकर सो गया. वह खाकर सो गया. This means he fell asleep after eating. Let's go to the third example. रमेश खाना खाकर स्कूल गया. रमेश खाना खाकर स्कूल गया. This means Ramesh went to school after having dinner. Now in the fourth example, मैं खेलकर विद्यालय गया. मैं खेलकर विद्यालय गया. This means I went to school after playing. Let's go to the fifth example. उसने गाना गाकर नृत्य किया. उसने गाना गाकर नृत्य किया. This means she sang and then danced. Now let's go to the sixth type of kriya. The sixth type of kriya is kridant kriya. It is kridant kriya. Now what is kridant kriya? जिन धातुओं में कृत प्रत्यय लगाए जाते हैं उन्हें कृदंत क्रिया कहते हैं. ये 3 प्रकार की होती है. The definition of kridant kriya is the metals in which krit suffixes are applied are called kridant kriya. These are of 3 types. The first type of kridant kriya is vartaman kalik. It is vartaman kalik, which is ta, ti, te, raha, rahi, rahe. जैसे दौड़ता, दौड़ती, दौड़ रहा, दौड़ रहे आदि. This means present tense, which is ta, ti, te, raha, rahi, rahe, like running, etc. The second type of kridant kriya is bhutkalik. It is bhutkalik, that is a, ya, adi. जैसे पढ़ा, पढ़ाया, लिखा, लिखाया, गया, खाया. This means past tense, that is a or etc. Like read, taught, wrote, went, ate, etc. The third type of kridant kriya is bhavishyat kalin. It is bhavishyat kalin, which is ga, gi, ge. जैसे पढ़ेगा, लिखेगी, दौड़ेगा, जाएगा आदि. This means future tense, that is ga, gi, etc. Like will read, will write, will run, will go, etc. Now the seventh type of kriya over here is sahayak kriya. It is sahayak kriya. Let's go through the definition of sahayak kriya. जो क्रिया मुख्य क्रिया के साथ वाक्य के निर्माण में सहायता करती है उसे सहायक क्रिया कहते हैं. जैसे है, था, रहे हो, रहे थे, रहा था, होगा, होगी इत्यादि. This means the verb which helps in forming a sentence with the main verb is called sahayak kriya. For example, is, was, has been, was, will be, etc. Now let's understand this with the help of example. Udaharan, example. The first example is तुम खा रहे हो. This means you are eating. Now let's go to the second example. वह जाग रहा होगा. वह जाग रहा होगा. This means he will be awake. Now in the third example, तुम खेल रहे थे. तुम खेल रहे थे. This means you were playing. Now let's go to the fourth example. वे सब दौड़ रहे थे. वे सब दौड़ रहे थे. This means they were all running. Let's go to the fifth example. तुम क्या सीख रहे हो? This means what are you learning? Now let's understand the A type of Kriya. The A type of Kriya is Sajatiya Kriya. It is Sajatiya Kriya. Let's go through the definition of Sajatiya Kriya. जब किसी वाक्य में दिए गए कर्म और क्रिया एक ही धातु से बने होते हैं तो ऐसी क्रिया को सजातीय क्रिया कहते हैं. जब किसी वाक्य में दिए गए कर्म और क्रिया एक ही धातु से बने होते हैं तो ऐसी क्रिया को सजातीय क्रिया कहते हैं. This means when the verb and the verb given in a sentence are made of the same root, then such a verb is called a sajatiya kriya. Udaharan, example. Let's go through the first example. गीता ने पढ़ाई पढ़ी. गीता ने पढ़ाई पढ़ी. This means Gita studied. Let's go to the second example. भारतीय सेना ने लड़ाई लड़ी. भारतीय सेना ने लड़ाई लड़ी. This means the Indian Army fought. It means the Indian Army fought. Now let's go to the third example. बच्चे खेल रहे हैं. बच्चे खेल रहे हैं. This means the children are playing game. This means the children are playing games. The children are playing games. Let's go to the fourth example. राधा अच्छी लिखाई लिख रही है. राधा अच्छी लिखाई लिख रही है. This means Radha is writing well. It means Radha is writing well. Now for the example, भारतीय सेना ने लड़ाई लड़ी. भारतीय सेना ने लड़ाई लड़ी. It means the Indian Army fought. Now let's understand this example. अब आप इस उदाहरण में देख सकते हैं कि कर्म लड़ाई है और क्रिया लड़ी और ये दोनों ही एक धातु लड़ से बने हुए हैं तो यह सजातीय क्रिया का उदाहरण हुआ. This means now you can see in this example that karma is fight and kriya is fight and both of them are made of the same metal. So this is an example of Sajatiya Kriya. So now we have understood the different types of Kriya or different types of verbs in Hindi in details. So keep revising and learning the different types of Kriya or verbs in Hindi till we meet again for our next lesson. Take care and thank you.